You know, and at the start it was me. I'll be like, Tigo, we should talk about this.
Yeah.
But Tigo was in the office all day.
Yeah.
So by the time I've come to Tigo after a day of filming, he's already got something planned.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for me to say anything.
Yeah.
And being the person Tigo was, what I liked about his production skills from then, they were catered to you.
Yeah.
There wasn't a generic way of working where you told people, Tigo's thing was, I know how to get the most out of you.
Yeah.
And that fills you with confidence because someone's fucking with you, like proper fucking with you. So yeah, like after making that, we done like seasons, you know, got everything started picking up traction.
So
I remember
what year did you guys actually start it then?
We started it, I think it was I want to say 2014, 2015. I want to say around then we started it.
Okay.
Because yeah, when we started it, a lot of good things started happening very quickly. Tigo managed to, and shout out Jenny from Nike, absolute legend, curly hair, legend. Tigo and Jenny managed to get us an opportunity to take over the whole first floor.
Oh, sick.
In Nike Town. And
sick.
no one was doing stuff like that before.
Yeah.
So me and I'm looking at Tigo like, how have you done this? I've gone to Nike Town. The whole first floor's taken over. We got Spencer Owen to come down, got Margs to come down, Jamie was there, and there were some people. Mal Ranger played in the tournament. We had Manny there.
Oh, sick.
I tried to bring as much people as possible that were connected with football so they can be in this space, and it was a really, really, really good thing. I think in the world of football, I think Tigo was the first person to create some type of event where you had loads of YouTubers and so on and so forth in a space like that within the football. I'm sure I could be wrong, but I don't really remember anything like that beforehand. And it was really, really good with the crossover of like quote unquote urban and football. I think that was one of the first things. And I think Tigo was hugely, hugely responsible for that. And then he filmed it sick. He got the whole team. Shout out Greg and Felix to film it sick, man. Shout out Andres that was there as well at the time. So, and it just kind of built from there, man. It built from there and you see what it is today. So I can say that first season we went ham. We went hard.
That's
we went really, really, really hard. And it was even beautiful at the end of the season when I went down to do a game for Manchester United. They were doing some type of charity game. And Darren Fletcher walks up to me and Vuj. And I'm thinking he's going to say Poe and Vuj because the Poe and Vuj brand was quite strong at the time.
Yeah.
He goes, filthy fellas.
Mad. Filthy, no.
And the thing is, I was filming at the time. So you've heard Darren Fletcher. I said, Tigo! Darren Fletcher's watching this shit.
Yeah.
So, and it's that let us know, because what we care about is football.
Yeah.
So if our product is amongst football culture, bro, first of all, that was very difficult to do. We weren't speaking the Queen's English, bro. Man are talking slang.
Yeah.
There's brothers on there that you don't recognize from the world of football. So how we got to be in the culture of football, I don't know how we did it. And I just think it's down to I don't know how we did it, but I know we were very consistent.
Yeah.
We're very hardworking. We're a very dedicated group of people, and yeah, man. Like,
well, yeah, no, I saw it while I was there for the year. Like, it was every week. Even if certain people are missing, there was always someone else to be like, okay, I'll step up to the plate.
Oh, the amount of times I had to try and call in people, and I would sit down with Tigo, I'd be like, what are we gonna do? And like, honestly, people can look at it right now and see the table ram-packed. Yeah. There was times when me and Tigo were there. Mad. And it's like me, Tigo, Steve-O, maybe a Mitch, maybe someone else. And do you know what I'm saying? People's commitment levels began to drop and deteriorate because there wasn't much money or opportunities. Yeah. So, well gone, Gigi. So it was kind of difficult at the start, man, in that sense. But yeah, it was, I don't know, I learned a lot, bro. I learned a lot from those times.
Yeah. No, so I wanted to, because I watched the episode of HC podcast where Tigo came on.
Legend,
yeah,
bro.
And he was kind of talking about how over the years, so like in the early years, everyone was on it, but then I think you guys moved to I think it was Bethnal Green studio, and then things got a bit like. But
to be honest, before then things got a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? There was loads of things that definitely became difficult, and one of them was the transition. We didn't know we were going to birth a star, but we knew we were going to birth a star.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, you're talking about Leon Knight is killing it. But so is Mitch.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Mitch is going to go.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest people on the show. He has to go. He has to continue his career. But then what happens to the show? I got to find new people.
Yeah.
So the hardest thing about it was having to find new people.
Yeah.
So sometimes, even when it was where it was before originally, before we got to Bethnal, bro, there was like 4 people there. You don't even know how you're going to make a show, but you've got to try.
Yeah.
And then, them same problems came in Bethnal. You're trying to try new cast, and some casts are snakes. And it's very difficult for me to see sometimes even what I'm worth to people, because I'm just me, and I'm me all the time. And my reasoning and the reasons why I start and doing things is to be inclusive, to help people, to have fun. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. Do you know what I'm saying? I just want to have a good time. I don't need to be serious. Don't need to do any of that. The moment some people's come in there and that's not their motive is they've got a capitalist mentality where it's like, this is the next step and then I will leave this. And once you've got that mentality to the situation, we're a family. Yeah. We're not a step, we're a family. Yeah. And you're trying to treat this family as a step. Yeah. It began to offend me when people would do it. Yeah. What do you mean you're just going to come over here and this is a step to your... Brother, we talk to each other after this is done. Yeah. So some people came in and they treated it like that, and that made the situation confusing, because I'm only trying to give off a nice example of love and bring you into a family, and Tigo's the same. And the only good thing about Tigo is he can see through the bullshit a lot earlier. Yeah. I can't see through the bullshit sometimes. I just take it on face value and I'm like, oh, if you lie, I'll find out in time. Whereas T, because I think he was overseeing so much, and maybe I was talent, so as talent, I'm just going to be talent, innit? Yeah. Not all the time. Obviously, I've done a lot more, so I'm not talent, but he is not talent at the time. He's behind the camera, and he's having multiple conversations, not just about Filthy, but all the things that he's doing, so he knows from that side how to pre-people and he would see the bullshit, and I think sometimes he would just sit there just waiting for they're going to fuck up soon or what have you, but... there was bare difficulties, man. Bare difficulties. But the beautiful thing is that we didn't give up. And I think, you know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes, it sounds like I'm licking his ass a lot. But, you know what I'm saying? I really do owe a lot to Tigo, because like, no one didn't have no faith in this idea, bro. Tigo's the only one that believed in it. And where Tigo's taking it, I could never have taken it that far.
That's big.
I could never have taken it there, bro. So whereas and what he's willing to do for people beyond the show, like it's like man's got an adult youth club where niggas really get opportunities to change their life, and that's all you want, a reform, you know, where you can go somewhere. And sometimes I think to myself, and I'm not saying these lot wouldn't have great careers and have done well, but sometimes I think, like, imagine me and Tigo didn't make this. Like, what happens to people like Margs and Lippy? Of course they're gonna have a career, but is there a place where they can go where they're filmed correctly and they're produced correctly to the point where in which it's really changing their life? Possibly. I'm never going to say no. These are really hardworking, special individuals that will always make it, but just know that we're part of their story. For me personally, anyway, it feels fucking beautiful, bro. So man, the man them are doing their thing, man. It's lit.
And you kind of spoke earlier on Specs. You said at the time, like, that you started, he was supposed to be on, but he unfortunately went prison. But
fortunately, you mean? I'm telling you, it's fortunately. You think I'm joking?
Kind of Tigo told me earlier on that it wasn't an easy transition, kind of put like him coming in later on. So kind of talk about that.
Listen, I had Specs on the channel very early. We had a show called Dr. Poe. I brought him in. I brought him to a Copa 90. I just think this guy's too talented in my head. He, for me, out of everyone I've worked with, is the most talented person I've ever worked with in my whole entire life. I don't know anybody that has a gift that comes to them so naturally and so consistently. I genuinely don't. It doesn't mean that there's not, like, maybe more talented people, or I don't even know what I'm saying, but in terms of like having a gift and being able to access it on a consistent basis, I don't know anyone as good as Specs. Genuinely. He wipes the floor with everyone. Everyone on YouTube, you name it, he wipes the floor with them for me. And I know that when I'm working with him. But he has to believe that the internet world and this world is the exact same thing. The only thing that makes it different is people speaking. But if you ignored everyone's voices, you wouldn't know any different to anything. Me sitting here, me being on camera, who gives a shit? And that's the one thing I was trying to say to him. You're special. Forget if everyone doesn't, but I don't want you to listen to anyone. You're special, Specs. We need to do this. He used to get angry with me. Don't bring me back on this fucking show. Pooh, why are you making me film this? And I was like, you're really talented. Like, I don't know anyone like this, bro. And then the beautiful thing is that when it did start working, because I tell you what, there are some people that were saying, I don't know if it's going to work, Paul.
Yeah.
And these are presenters. These are people that, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah. They're not tapped in, man. Come on.
No, they were.
Mm.
I clocked.
Okay.
People are afraid of competition.
Yeah,
Specs is
okay.
very strong competition for a lot of people
Yeah.
because Specs is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
So when some people would think they're mildly funny like me, I'm like, I'm funny. When Specs comes along,
Yeah, nice.
I'm kind of funny. That's do you know where I'm coming from, bro?
Yeah.
And I think some people were intimidated by that. And now that he's cemented his place, I'm just so happy. And again, like that's my friend in real life. I've known him since I was 16 years old. That's my friend in real life.
Definitely.
When I see, again, I'm sorry to go back to him, but we're on the subject. Feel free. When I see how Tigo has influenced and helped him with what he does, because that's my brethren, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what to say. So it's like, Kaz, man, Filthy Fellas is the most special thing I think I've ever done in my life, geezer.
No, that's it. So kind of like, I kind of wanted to know, like, obviously whilst you were doing Filthy Fellas, you were doing the Copper 90 stuff. So how do you think it kind of compared where you kind of had the family vibe kind of more free? And then I'm assuming that Copper 90 would have been more like corporate kind of stuff.
Copper 90 wouldn't have been good if it had not been for Filthy Fellas.
Okay.
What Filthy Fellas, because they complained about it all the time.
Yeah.
They complained. But at Copper 90, we were coasting.
Yeah.
I see it now, we were coasting. You get opportunities. No one even tell you if it was bad or good. They'll just be like, they just wanted things done. There was no talk about process. It was all outcome. Tigo was about process, bro, until it's protocol, and then it's outcome. And that just meant that the mechanic of me worked differently, which means I was more of a valuable asset to Copa 90 because of the skills that I would have learned at Filthy Fellas. Had I just been working as talent on Copa, I would have rubbed out all the other qualities I have about myself and never ever exercised them. But I got to exercise a lot of them in loads of different things I get to do. If I just stayed Copa 90, let me come in and when you get called. So Copa 90 benefited from Filthy Fellas. They're not even aware of it. Because what Filthy Fellas done was it changed the way we speak about football, the same way Arsenal Fan TV changed the way we speak about football. You can tell that guy he was shit. Before we come along, it's like you're afraid to say things like you're going to see my man in the street, bro. Because if you played shit, I've paid my money. I'm not saying it's right for me to say what I'm saying.
And you earn a lot of money as well.
No, fuck what you earn. It's nothing to do with them. I want people to understand. I don't give a fuck. If I don't know these footballers, I don't care like that about them. I'm emotional. I've paid my money. It's about me. It's less to do with them. I've paid my money. I support Arsenal. I've come to the ground. And you've played crap. Bun you, man. That is the mentality. And because it's a universally shared mentality, that's always going to work over comparison to, oh, the tactics and, oh, brother, like, there's a time and place for that. But guess what? I'm a passionate fan. And that's what people began to see. What's actually happening in reality is not too any different on the net. Because if you present something from reality that we can all relate to, it's from here. Everything from the net is from reality. The things that get chucked off the net are the things that are not relatable. Or the things that are dangerous to society because it's so relatable that it might change your frame of thinking. Like, those are the things that sell. So when you put a genuine football fan online, what did you think was gonna happen? Do you know where I'm coming from?
No, it's true.
So yeah, man, shout out the Filthy Fellas. They changed everything, and I think Copa 90 felt the pressure and realized that they had to step up, realized that they had to do different things. Otherwise, had they not had any competition, I say to everybody, imagine the Premier League just had two teams like Scotland. It's not watched that much. The Premier League is watched because it's a very competitive league. Obviously not this season, but do you understand where I'm coming from? Competition is important, and I don't understand why Copa was so threatened by Filthy Fellas at one point. Well, I do get it now, but
so
it's a bit washed.
I guess now whilst I was at Rewind, you Vuj and Copper 90 kind of parted ways. So like, why do you think things ended the way they did? Like, if you can have any like opinion on that kind of thing.
It's easy to just say the incident, innit? The incident was bad for me because I lost trust for them. And you know what? Copa can say whatever they like about me. They know I gave 950%. They could never question my work rate over there. They could never question my loyalty to the cause. They could never question the amount of hours I put in, bro. So when you're that committed to a situation, but then an external factor from the situation can come in and say, get rid of him, and you listen to them.
Yeah.
I'm like they dismiss me whilst I'm away.
Yeah.
With my girlfriend at the time that was the mother of my kids. I'm with Yinka, with all my friends. I'm not even in the country.
Yeah.
And you do a proposal for something that I told you, don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You force me to be a part of it. And then they get at you for it.
Yeah.
And then, because a couple of people say poet, you just go say, yeah, get poet.
Yeah.
Because people in the company have a problem with me anyway.
Yeah.
How can you have a problem with the people that are making you the most money?
Yeah. It's mad.
Why do you think you're more important than the people at the front? They're the face of it.
Yeah.
Do you think the people at the face? Do you think if Jay-Z's Jay-Z?
Yeah.
If you work for Jay-Z, why do you think you're more important than Jay-Z?
Yeah.
He's the face of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm.
But I mean, you were.
Me and Vuj were Copenhagen. It doesn't matter if you don't think it.
Yeah.
Forget that. In actual reality, you associated Copenhagen. The first one that came to was Poe and Vuj.
Yeah.
So why would you not take care of Poe and Vuj? I'm not saying this because I'm me. I'm just saying it in general.
Yeah.
Like, we're the face of it. Why not take care of us? Who knows how far it can go? And what happened was some people were just upset that they were basically working towards making myself and Vuj bigger. And I don't get that.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
What did you want to do? On top of that, you mix in, I was saying this to someone yesterday, I think one of the biggest problems is village mentality and capitalist mentality mixing together.
Yeah.
One's built upon principles and ethics and morals, and one's built upon progression. But I don't even know where you're progressing to. What is progression in your eyes? Progression in my eyes is becoming a better person. Progression in your eyes is a job upscale. Cool, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's never gonna work for long.
Yeah.
Because I won't take a job to upscale if I feel it goes against my morals.
Yeah.
You will, because that's part of a capitalist society.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So some people are all about the money. Some people are all about, I think, find a nice balance.
Yeah.
You know, some people have the fine balance, and you can't not want money. Of course I want money. I like looking wavy. My shirt is really nice. It's Valentino.
Yeah.
It's got flowers on it.
Very flowery.
Come on.
Not floral.
Come on. It costs a bit of money. From where I'm from anyway. I'm used to spending £50 on shirts. You add another zero with these ones. And maybe change the first one. And that makes me feel good.
I mean, money makes you feel better, man.
Having a bit of money makes you feel good, but it shouldn't be the thing that determines all your decisions.
Yeah,
so
100,
that's
100.
the difference between, I think, me and Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Their decisions are very, very money driven, which is fair enough. I don't know what their situation is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe they have to be money driven, but
Yeah.
I'm not money driven.
Yeah.
I'm the front of your company.
Yeah.
We got to find a compromise. Oh, we don't? Cool, then I'm going to leave.
But yeah, I guess it kind of goes back to what you were saying with Filthy, like how like maybe they saw it as competition, you're getting bigger, and it's like, like if we empower him too much, he's just going to take this all back to his mandem and just take off. But I mean, if you're making them a lot of money and you're really like, even me, like I didn't really know them for anyone else but you and Vu, so it's like, to the common person, you're like who they look to when it's Copper 90. So it's like, yeah, when you think about it like that, it is a bit of a madness.
What's Copper 90 now?
I don't know, man.
If they kept me and Vuj, what happens is me and Vuj stay at Copper 90, and then we bring the next Poe and Vuj into Copper 90, and we probably then make a decision to go, and then our careers are different, and everything's blessed.
Yeah.
But I think, and it's one of the biggest things, like, and I see it so much from so much people, and I find it cute as fuck. Like, before any of this, I'm a well-known person.
Yeah.
If you go to Tottenham, I'm a well-known person for being a good guy.
Yeah.
I'm a cool kid. I'm not a little bad boy.
Yeah.
Cool kid. Done youth work for 10 years. I'm a cool kid.
Yeah.
You can chat to him. He's a cool kid. So I'm very well known in my area.
Yeah.
So having a lot of attention is nothing new to me.
Yeah.
I've been getting attention.
Yeah.
Now, some people, attention's new to them.
Yeah.
So imagine you don't get attention, then the first bit of attention you get is widespread attention like that.
Yeah.
It's going to go to your mind. It's
Yeah,
going to
no,
go
it's
to your
true.
head. And that's a lot of people at Copenhagen. Like, a lot of things got to their head. They were part of a company that was getting a lot of attention. They've never really got that attention before. They can't believe it. And all of a sudden, they feel like the decisions they're making are more important than they actually are.
Yeah.
They didn't look at why the company's big. They just looked at it, we're part of a big thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's upsetting because, do you know what? This is one thing I can say about most companies. Even the police force. There's probably about 5 dickheads.
Yeah, no, it's true.
The other 100 are probably wonderful people, but the 5 dickheads have so much power
like
that when they
apples,
fuck up,
basically.
them other 100, you're all cunts as well. You're all cunts. And these times it's the 5 dickheads.
No, it's true.
So, yeah, man, it's so upsetting that a small group of people can be representative of a large group and just change your whole perspective on them. But that's what Copa did, man.